Elf has announced that they're not doing as hot as they thought they were and the stock is plummeting. Skims has announced a new employee that is making everybody super excited. All of my predictions about perfumes and body care is coming into fruition, and Ulta is opening in Kuwait? Is that right? Welcome to this week's new makeup releases. We are gonna chat about the makeup news, the things that have been released, the things that people are announcing. I want to discuss what's new in the makeup industry, and you can let me know what you think about these things down in the comments. I will be putting details about all of these things down in the description box in case you want to read up more about this, or if you're wondering where you can find the products that I am mentioning. I also just want to quickly announce the video that I had on, what day is this? Wednesday? Where I was basically giving like my 2 months notice. In Sweden, we don't give 2 weeks notice. Usually we give a couple of months notice, saying that come 2026, I will no longer be a full-time beauty YouTuber. I quit my job and I am gonna go back and have YouTube as a hobby again. It's going to be something that I do on the side. What is that going to mean in the amount of uploads? I have no idea. It might mean once a month, it might mean once a week, whatever I feel like and whatever I have time with. A lot of you were expressing that you really want me to keep these videos, and I do think I will, because I actually really enjoy doing these videos, sitting down, talking to you about the things that are going on in the community, giving you my thoughts, and I love reading the comments, seeing your thoughts. Will it still be once a week? Honestly, I have no idea. But I wanted to let you know because I did not want to be one of those YouTubers that just all of a sudden stops uploading. No shade to people who do that. I know quite a few YouTubers that actually just quit. They just kind of stopped uploading. And I don't want to say whom, because clearly they didn't want to draw attention to the fact that they were stopping YouTube. But I didn't want to be one of those people. I wanted to let you know that I'm probably going to be, you know, a little bit like Samantha Ravindal. I love Samantha. One of these days, I would love to meet Samantha Ravindal, where she uploads where she feels like it. I will upload more often than she does, though. But then she has other projects on the side, and some of them we probably have no idea about. That's the kind of person that I would like to be, but I will still upload. And you know what I want to do? I want to do more tutorials in short form, and I will upload those to YouTube as well, like chatting about doing my makeup, but just not like long form, because it's like easier and it's a little bit more like low stakes. I did actually film this look here, and I mean scoochie to the side. Oh my god, I'm falling off my chair. And we can talk about, because this is the palette that I used, and this one is releasing today. Also, I had a death in the family. I was breaking down boxes yesterday and I could feel it. You know, you feel when it's like ding. Yeah, the nail, it gave up. She's no longer with us, okay? RIP. But this palette is launching today. This is the new palette by Simply Posh Cosmetics. It is launching today, Friday. You can use my code Angelica and you can get some money off. And this look right here, I did film it as a short, and I am planning to put it up today so that you can see it. And I'll put up the shorts here on YouTube as well. But if you prefer watching them on more short form content, I will put them on both my TikTok and my Instagram. I do personally prefer Instagram, but you know what? Things can change, but I do prefer, oh my god, you can't see anything. Should I be more, am I in frame? But you never know what honestly what I will do, but I do prefer personally Instagram, because I feel like you can put pictures there as well. Like, it makes sense. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm Instagram and I will go way back, but this palette, really pretty. It's doing one of those things that I've been wanting Simply Posh Cosmetics to do, which is that it has even more contrast. It goes really dark to really light, and I also decided to put on like these little like pearls, little face gems. I'm really enjoying this look. I feel really pretty today, and I also have this. I feel like I'm. Wait, let me scooch back. Is this? This makes more sense, right? I feel like I was so close there for a bit. But I have like a pink top. I have like pastels. I'm feeling really cute today. I'm really enjoying it. I also am going to be filming a tutorial with the new Bella Beauté bar palette that launched. And I also want to film one with the Nomad palette that also is available now. Let's switch to that one instead. This is, oh my god, can I pronounce this? So this is a German Christmas market. Christmas markets are real. I don't know if, okay, I haven't visited a lot of like Christmas events and pop-ups here in the US, I will say. Maybe it's because I don't get the Christmas feeling when it's so hot as it is here in Texas. But Christmas markets is a huge thing in the north part of Europe. Sweden has like literally, it's littered. Okay, every small town has their own little Christmas market. It's usually really, really sweet. You can buy sweets and like jams and honeys and like knitted things and crochets and ornaments. It's usually like just an amazing time. And I know Germany is extremely known for them. You go there and you have treats like spiced wine and like gingerbread cookies, and it's just a really, really fun time. I wish I was able, because we are going home for Christmas this year, which I am so excited about. My mom already asked me what I wanted, like what I wanted to eat when I was there. And I said, if you're Swedish, you're gonna know, I said Budapest bakelse, Trocadero, and Polly. That's what I want. But I really wish that I would be able to go to one of these Christmas markets too. But unfortunately, we do arrive the day before Christmas because Ricardo has work to do. So we won't be able to visit one. But in the future, I would love to go to one of the big ones in Germany. This palette is available now. You can use code Angelica and get 10% off. I think it's called Christkindmarkt. Christkindmarkt. That is not correct. But the ones in Germany are huge and super famous, and one year I would love to go. And I find it so fascinating that the owners, and a lot of you didn't know, the owners did actually move. They used to live here in Texas and they moved to Germany. I don't know where in Germany. I'm not going to dox them. I have no idea and I don't want to tell you. But they did move to Europe, which is also, I'm pretty sure, some people were asking me, but I'm pretty sure that they have been shipping European orders from the EU for a while. You should double check, but I'm pretty sure that if you are in the EU, they will ship it from Europe. And if you're in the US, they will ship it from US. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's how it works. Another thing that already launched as well, I had no idea about this launch, and this is a Halloween launch at Clionadh, and this is the Pick Your Potion and Haunted Hollow. This is nail lacquers and a shimmer palette. I don't have this one with me. I don't know if I'm getting it in PR or not. I did talk about the other all shimmer palette that they released, and I said if you do not have those kind of like iridescent topper shades, that one would be perfect. It seems like this one is a little bit more, some deeper shades as well. Let me see if I can see some swatches. These are the swatches by Nupur. I love her. She is so amazing. Like one of the sweetest people ever. There you can see, I'm so excited to have met her. So these are the swatches of the palette, and you can use her code, I think, as well. I think it's Nupur, or you can use Angelica at checkout with Clionadh and get some money off. And if I get the palette, I will swatch this for sure. I do think that like bottom dark shade that seems to be almost like a gold going to an indigo going to like a berry, that looks really, really interesting. It seems to have a black base. I do really love Clionadh palettes. I do prefer myself palettes to have a mix between shimmers and mattes. But with that being said, I have actually reached for the topper palette that they did on Top of the World a couple of times, one in a video and then outside of YouTube to add a little bit of a topper. So, I mean, I can say whatever I want, but let's be honest, the palette is really nice. I did have a palette ranking as well, in case you missed it, where I was talking about, I think, was it like 15 or something of the latest palettes that I've been trying out this like end of summer, like fall season, if you want to see which ones I loved, because I know a couple of you were surprised at what palette was in the very top, but I don't know why. But yeah, definitely to check out that video in case you missed it. I did talk and swatch and review quite a lot of palettes in that one. We also have a new palette from Byredo. This is the Vesuvio eyeshadow palette, 18 color eyeshadow palette, buildable, blendable. I feel like this is almost like a saturated version of the palette that they just released. And I'm not 100% sure. I was gonna say why, but this seems very light and mid-tone. And I mean, there's a lot of people who only want that, but this is definitely not for me. And this is $115. And it seems to be like a few satin shades, I think, and then just a lot of like metallics. Just this isn't how I do my makeup, and I think this is something to really like remember when you are purchasing makeup. Just because something looks really pretty, is this something you'll use? Is this your makeup style? Is this something you'll reach for? Sometimes things don't get prettier just because you own them. We can admire things from afar. And I also think that sometimes we can acknowledge that, yes, I don't usually use this kind of makeup, but I actually wish that I would. And then of course it would make more sense. Like if I were to look at this palette and be like, yeah, I don't use light shades like this, but I really want to. I want to get into that. That makes more sense then. But I look at this and I'm like, I would not probably want to do a look with this palette alone without bringing something else in. And I have so much makeup. And I also think that that's one of the things for 2026 for me. I will definitely be buying less makeup. So why would I buy something like this? And that's something you need to ask yourself too. Don't buy just for the sake of buying. I've said this so many times. What is your hobby? Is your hobby using makeup, collecting makeup, or buying makeup? Honestly, all three of those are three different things. And I want to be the person that uses makeup. I'm not going to use up my makeup, but I want to use my makeup. I would hate to have something in my collection that I've only used once, if even that. That's the worst case scenario for me. So that's just not what I'm like after, not what I'm trying to do. Can we also talk about, I forgot this brand existed. This is Nikkia Joy. And Nikkia Joy Cosmetics is introducing their first ever eyeshadow palette. Big congratulations. This is called the Caramel Swerve. It is 9 buttery shade inspired by the rich tones of caramel sweets, and it is very red for being a caramel palette, I will say. When I think of caramel, I think more of like yellowy, buttery, toffee kind of shades. With that being said, this is a kind of a neutral palette that I am attracted to, and I do think it looks really, really attractive. Will this be, because yeah, this is the kind of shades that I think about with caramel, and then the shades are kind of like red. That could just be like, that's just me, of course. I love a red eyeshadow, so I'm not upset about it. I just find it really interesting that they are releasing their first eyeshadow palette, and I haven't heard anything about the brand for a bit, so I'm excited for them that they are releasing that. There's also another brand where I was like, oh my god, I have not thought about you for a really long time. Oh, here they were, Kash Beauty. I have not thought about them in a really, really long time. I know they were an influencer brand too, and I don't know if I even follow the influencer anymore, or maybe is she uploading? I don't remember anything of this at all. This was the influencer, right? The one here? But this is lip stains, and I gotta say, this packaging for lip stains, this is the kind of applicator I want for lip stains. I honestly think this is the best use of like this kind of applicator, because for lip stains, this applicator makes 1,000,000% sense. And I actually think that that is a great way for an applicator for a lip tint. And I think the shades look really pretty too. I like a lip stain in the middle of my lip, and then a see-through gloss with a little bit of tint on top. That's my favorite way of using a lip stain. I know right now it's very popular to have a lip stain lip liner. I am gonna be honest with you, I don't like that look on anyone. I don't think that looks good. I have yet to see that look better than a normal lip liner. And I know that's big right now. It's just, people are like, oh, and it stays on all day. I'm like, yeah, looking like that? I don't know. It's just not my preferred way of makeup looking. If you love it, that's awesome. Use it more. Who am I here to judge anybody else's makeup? You probably look at my makeup and you're like, I would never look like that. So it's just a personal preference, but I do love a lip stain in the middle of the lips. And I gotta say, this kind of applicator for that, I think it's genius. It's exactly the kind of applicator I want for that. I also wanted to quickly let you know that the Isamaya eyeshadow palettes, in case you were interested in this is the re-release with new packaging. And I don't know if it's new colors or formulas, but it's the Industrial Core Palette 1 and Core Palette 2. They're now at Sephora. So if you were interested in these, I will link it down below. Sephora, you can get a discount now as well if you purchase these. So I think it's really smart for them to release it during the sale, because I think that will probably garner more sales for them. Another thing that is probably gonna launch throughout the sale are the new scents by Kayali, and I'm so excited. I usually do get PR from Kayali, although I will say they still keep sending the PR to my old address. So I've gotten to know the girl that is renting the house that I used to live in before. And I'm gonna have to keep track on this, and maybe I'll leave a note for her if they still deliver it to my old address, or maybe they won't deliver it at all. Maybe I'm no longer on the PR list, but if I'm not, this I will buy, because holy bananas, I am so excited. You know, I love Kayali. I love so many of the Kayali fragrances. There is something about the sweet, spicy, woody, like fragrance DNA that Kayali usually has in all of their fragrances that just speaks to me. They are just like my kind of like sexy fragrances. That chocolate oud that I mentioned in my Sephora recommendations video, I've gotten so many comments, DMs, even like messages from my real friends telling me, thank you for the recommendation, it is amazing. If you have not checked out the Kayali chocolate oud, it is spicy, it is warm, it is fall-like, it is vanilla, bourbon, cinnamon, apple. Ugh, it is so delicious. Absolutely love it. Okay, let's not talk more about that. I'm obsessed with that scent. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I know you're not supposed to say obsessed, but I am obsessed about it. Predict to see that in my yearly favorites. Let me just put it like that. But these new scents, they sound so lovely. And the bottles, are you kidding me? Look at these bottles. So this is going to be the Freedom Collection from Kayali. The entire Freedom Collection will release exclusively on the Sephora app. Oh, so it's releasing on the Sephora app and other platforms. Oh, wait, the 60 after the sale. Sorry, you can't get a discount on this one. It's going to be after the sale on the 16th. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lie to you. I should have read the fine print. I did see them on the Sephora website already available. I will link them down below. That's why I thought they were there. I'm sorry, but the 16th and the sales ends on the 10th. So sorry about that. But this is going to be Musk Santal. It's going to be bergamot, pink pepper, mandarin, sweet freesia, soft lily, lavender, Musk Santal, candied amber, blah, 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 blah. And then the Kayali signature accord. That's what I'm telling you. It's that vanilla, spicy, woody, like there's like a little bit of sexiness going on. I mean, bergamot, pink pepper, mandarin sounds amazing. I love that. And then we have solar jasmine. This is musk bouquet. Solar jasmine, ylang ylang, pink pepper, Turkish rose, vanilla musk, praline, sandalwood, vetiver. I think that's probably going to be a very warm, florally scent. And then we have musk latte. This sounds amazing. Bergamot, pink pepper, mandarin, cinnamon. Shut the front door. Cafe latte, Turkish rose, lavender, cypriol, cedarwood, sandalwood, chocolate, musk. I think that one is going to be so good because I will say, usually when they put florals in the Kayali fragrances together with other things, the florals never take over. But my favorite one, are you kidding me? Musk matcha. I love drinking matcha and I love smelling like matcha. It is matcha, bergamot, mate, green apple, oat milk, praline, coffee, vanilla, sweet musk, sandalwood, amber, patchouli, vetiver. I think this is gonna be a warm, lactic, sweet, green fragrance, and I cannot wait. I think this is gonna be the green tea version of the pistachio ice cream. I think this is gonna be the green tea version of that, and I am so excited. It's not even funny. Like, try and stop me from getting this one. I will break in to the warehouse at night if this sells out and I'm not able to get a hold of this. Don't take that as, that's not a threat. Nobody, okay, I won't. I was kidding. Put down the phone. Nobody called the police. I'm just saying I will be deeply disappointed if I don't get a hold of that one because I think I will love it. Maybe I'll get them in PR, maybe I won't. I don't get everything from Kayali, and like I said, if I don't get this in PR, I will a zillion, million, trillion % at least buy the two, the musk latte and the musk matcha. They sound absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm so excited. Another fragrance that I'm very, very excited about, and this is Commodity. This one is not coming until December, so this is very much a sneak peek. And this is, it's gonna be something cool. I think it's like cooling or cooled or something. And this picture comes from Scent Report. I really love their account as well. It's just Scent Report as like one name. They're having a great, they give a lot of like heads up about fragrance releases. I really, really enjoy their page. So this is going to be something, I think it's called Cooler or Cooled or something like that from Commodity. And the notes are going to be mango, ginger, and mint. Very excited about that. And I do love a lot of commodity fragrances. And I definitely think that I will be picking that one up as well. Then I also love Figue. I love green scents. That's why I'm so excited about the matcha one. Tom Ford is releasing a Figue Erotique. And this one is, when is this one coming? 3 different sizes, and it's not coming until January, but it seems like it's going to be Figue and some kind of a citrus, because it says fig, spices, salt, muscovado, sugar accord, ylang ylang, vetiver, and patchouli. Fresh, green, vibrant fig, darker, lush, ripe fig. This one is said to be coming in January, but again, I'm very intrigued with this one. They do have a really, really good Tom Ford counter here at the Neiman Marcus that always gets all the new fragrances. I will definitely go and smell this one. And if you love fig like me, keep an eye open. Speaking of fig fragrances, did I not tell you that every brand is gonna go, I think I said this a couple of years ago, I think my predictions, the predictions that I put down, I think I am like a year early. Because all the predictions that I say happen a year later. I said that I thought we was gonna see more highlighters in 2024, and they were now in 2025. I said we were going to see even more brands branch out into perfume in 2024, and it's happening now at the end of 2025. A lot of brands are branching into perfumes, one of them being Pixi. Pixi is branching into perfumes, which I think is really good. This is like a high-end drugstore brand. So they are going to do PixiPerfume. They're doing a Fig perfume. Again, I do receive PR from Pixi. If I do get this one in PR, I will definitely try out all of them. But if I don't get them in PR, I will buy the Fig one because it is bergamot, fig leaves, and iris. But then they also have a PixiRose. And I will say the rose scent from Pixi, and I've said this for years, we're talking like 9-8 years, I have said that Pixi have really nailed the fresh roses. It is not potpourri, it is not dried up roses, it is not artificial. There's something about these rose scent from Pixi that is fresh picked roses. It smells super, super nice. So if there's one brand where I actually could be on board with the rose fragrance, it is Pixi. It is rose, sweet lemon, lily, and jasmine. And then they have a PixiMimosa, which is Cananja odorata. Oh, ylang ylang. Green leaves, juicy pear, mimosa, violet petals, and hawthorn and amber. And violet petals, hawthorn, green leaves, that could be really interesting too, depending on if it smells too florally or if it's going to smell more like green and like outdoorsy. So I actually think that this is a really, really interesting release. And I mean, look at this. You had me at fresh fix. And another thing that is really exciting about this launch, it says Eau de Parfum, and it is available now at Pixi Beauty, $18 each or $36 for all 3. Now that's a price. One more brand that is getting into perfumes, and I actually don't know, should we go in and look at, this is Made by Mitchell. Made by Mitchell is doing a Mitchell Makes Scents. And join me on TikTok. I'm pretty sure that they have released these now. Can we go in and look at the website? Because Made by Mitchell is one of these brands that have made it big on TikTok. I don't know exactly how or why because I don't really look at TikTok, but I have tried their makeup and I thought their makeup was fine. Some things were great, a lot of things were kind of meh, some things I didn't like, but I do think that they have gotten a very big, they're a little bit more mid-price range, which makes it a little bit more attractive because a lot of makeup, I'm gonna be honest, have gotten really expensive. Here we are, Northern Lights Perfume Discovery Set. It is £45 to get 5 of them, and we have a Pep Talk Iris Pink Pepper and Brett, Gentle Monster, Hazelnut Almond Cinnamon, Sweet Disposition, Mimosa Violet Pear Truffle, Valet Doll, Grapefruit Bergamot Thyme, ooh, that sounds really nice, and Bel Air Ina Lychee Pear Bergamot Pink Pepper. Interesting. I will say it does sound really interesting. I wonder if you can just buy, can I buy this? Okay, let me go into TikTok. And of course they're giving me an ad. Okay, can I shop from TikTok? Because I have never... That escalated quickly. I've never bought anything from TikTok shop in my life. Oh yeah, Made by Mitchell. Oh, and my memory card is almost full. 1.1 million. Can I buy here? Can I... They say no products. know if I think that's true. Maybe I need to go to the American one. Oh, here's the American one, 86,000. Okay. Oh, here I can buy. I had to go to the special one. Okay, let me change my memory card and let's see if I actually can Can I buy from here? I feel like a boomer. I don't understand TikTok shop. I have got everything I now know about TikTok shop, I've learned against my will. But I have learned that the fragrances are not available in the US. So there we go. But you know what? I might try them, especially the one with like the citrusy thyme one. That sounds like something I would enjoy. I'm also not against the hazelnut almond cinnamon. That does sound really good. And it seems like they might come with a candle. Like it's a candle as well. I might be incorrect. Again, everything I learned about the TikTok shop, I learned against my will, and it wasn't much. Okay? I want to say bare minimum, but I'm not even at the minimum. I am scraping by. But they do seem really interesting, and I am excited to see even more brands get into fragrances, because again, like, why not? It is so fun. I've gotten so many questions from you asking if I can show my perfume collection, and I think what I'm gonna do, because again, I am planning like what kind of videos do I want to do now, my last like months as a full-time YouTuber. I think one of the videos I want to do is that I want to rank all of the fragrances that have entered my collection this year. And I want to rank them from my least favorite to my absolute favorite ones, because I have quite a few to talk about. I've also gotten a few in PR that I didn't love this year. So I'm excited to like maybe go through. I'm just thinking about doing something like that. Just something to just round it up. Give you all kinds of thoughts. Another fragrance that I will buy, and I really hope that this fragrance will come in a mini, because I definitely don't want to pay Prada prices for a full size. But this is another tea fragrance. And if you remember last year, I mentioned that the black tea fragrance from Marseille was one of my favorites of the year. And tea fragrances, the note is just so lovely. And there's one coming from Prada, and this is called Infusion, the Santal chai. It's a woody, milky fragrance with spicy notes of chai latte, creating a warm and cozy scent with citrus, cardamom, and musk. Chai latte, oh my god, I'm so excited. I don't know if they're gonna lean more into the spices and milk over the tea notes, but I don't even care. I don't even care. I mean, chai literally means tea. So I really hope there's some tea notes in there as well. Citrus, cardamom, chai, latte, accord, sandalwood, musk, coming soon. I really hope we'll be able to see a small version of this, because I will 1,000,000% pick this up. I'm very excited. Remember how last week I was so excited about there's going to be a new fragrance from Snif, and it was going to be minty? Yeah, they broke my heart, like stabbed me right in the heart, and they released it as a candle. A candle? I don't want a candle. I mean, that's nice, but like I wish it was a fragrance. So this is a holiday candle, and it is called something. Merry Mint Mocha. It's white chocolate, peppermint cream, vanilla marshmallow, sea salt, chocolate shavings, and caramel swirl. Love that for you. That's not how I want my home to smell, and I wish we could have gotten almost like something like pepperminty, almost like hanging a peppermint in the tree, like fir peppermint, that outdoorsy. I would have loved that, but again, alas. They let me down. Okay, I'm overreacting. You got that, right? We're also seeing a new fragrance from Khloe Kardashian, and this is going to be at Ulta Beauty. And this is the Almost Always. I gotta say, this picture looks a little stiff. It looks almost AI generated. I mean, the flower crown is beautiful. This is one of those fragrances that I know I'm not gonna like. This is gonna be, like I said, that other celebrity fragrances are back. If you didn't get the memo, I talked about that last week and the week before, I think. I don't even remember. Celebrity fragrances are back. Expect to see more. But this is another one of these classic feminine fragrances that is gonna smell like every Lancôme fragrance you've ever smelled. Lavender, magnolia, star jasmine, orange blossom petals, Palo Santo, Woods Musks Vanilla. I bet it smells nice, but there's gonna be nothing revolutionary or like interesting about this. Maybe I'm sounding harsh. I'm just saying this is going to be a generic scent for people who just like smelling nice, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't need to buy this. One more fragrance that is upcoming, and this is also from Scent Report, and you can see upcoming releases here, and here is that new one from Khloe Kardashian I was talking about. Way is releasing some new fragrances. There's another body spray coming from Sol de Janeiro. There is going to be another, almost like, it seems like it's going to be a caramel mango from Clean Beauty. Cashmere Skin that just released at Sephora, but then there is another one from Phlur that is called Afterglow, and it is coming in December, and I'm really excited to see this, not only because I do tend to somewhat enjoy the Phlur fragrances, but also this is a fragrance and not a body spray, and that makes me excited. So we'll talk more about this when I know more, but I hope it's something fun. In the category of everybody wants to do body care right now because it is so huge with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, we are now seeing the Old Navy Beauty coming. Yeah. Didn't know you wanted that, did you? This is the first sneak peek, and they're gonna come out with beauty and accessories. This will include, again, keep that in your head when I said that body care is very popular with these generations that people are trying to reach. Body lotion, body wash, hair and body mists. It's gonna be 5 gourmand and floral scents, such as very generic Vanilla Crush Amber Vibe. Good for you. Not what I am looking for, but I think a lot of brands out there, especially more like brands such as like Gap or Old Navy or even Victoria's Secret or H&M and Zara, they're all trying to be the Victoria's Secret of this generation. Remember how crazy we were about Victoria's Secret body sprays? Everybody's trying to be that, but for the next generation, and this is the next contender. There are 2 new eyeshadow palettes coming from YSL Beauty. This is not for me. I do love a colorful palette, but 4 almost samey shades in turquoise, it's not necessarily what I'm gonna spend my money on. It's probably gonna be like $50-$60. And then there is one with 4 shimmery shades in like muted pastels, and I'm not the customer. I'm not the customer, and I am wondering who the customer for that turquoise palette is. I love to see more colorful things, but I also think it's so weird that we have 2 matte shades and 2 shimmery shades, and they're all kind of like mid-tony-ish. I'm not saying that it's unusable. That's not what I'm saying. I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm just saying this is not how I do my makeup, so therefore I wouldn't know what to do with this quad. Nothing wrong with loving something like this. I just trying to figure out who the customer is. ABH has also announced that they are releasing a new palette. I guess this is their little holiday palette. And they said, you asked for cool tones, we delivered. It says our surprise drop is here. The cool tone sister to Embers is here. Meet Haze, available in TikTok shop. Look at... I don't love cool tones on me. I know everybody is so excited about cool tones right now. It's not my favorite way of wearing makeup. I do it every now and then, but I do always prefer something that is either neutral or warm leaning on me personally, but it's just a matter of preference. And you know, one of these days I'm gonna come back to cool tones the way that I came back to pink cheeks, so just keep your eyes open. I think it looks pretty. I think the palette looks fairly well balanced. It's just not something that I'm interested in. I do like the look of the shimmers. I think the 3 shimmers that they picked for this palette actually look really nice. Oh, and if you missed the Glam Light and the Saw collection, it sold out really quickly. They already restocked it, which either shows that they were not stocking everything at the beginning when they launched it, or that they had a shipment that came in late with the bulk of the product. So it is in stock. I did check the website. You can use code Angelica at Glamlite, and you will get some money off when you are buying from the website. It doesn't work on TikTok shop. But if you were missing the collection and you were wanting to see it, it is back in stock. I think all of the things are back in stock, and also they did restock some makeup bags that people were wanting, and they also launched a, I think it is a glitter setting spray in the Golden Glow Skin something. Yeah, it's part of the Twilight collection that did launch a new product with Jacob. I think it's like a glitter spray but in gold instead. It's not something, again, that I'm looking for. But if you wanted the collection and it's sold out, it is back in stock. One of the most exciting holiday launches that I have seen this year is actually that Melt is doing a collab with Edward Scissorhands. That is actually one of the first indie makeup things I ever bought, was the Sugar Pill and Edward Scissorhands palette. And I remember reviewing it on my channel 10 years ago, and I remember being like, oh, it's really nice. And it was the first time where I realized it actually isn't that nice. And I had to come back to my channel later and be like, listen, I was just trying to be nice. I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but this palette wasn't great quality. And it for me, just how I felt, I feel much more secure in myself now later on saying when I don't like something than I did in the beginning on YouTube. I was very afraid to say that I did not like something, or to just, I don't want to say be honest, but I was very much sugarcoating when I didn't like anything. And I'm much more like open and secure in myself and saying like, this isn't like the bestest of products. And I'm very excited that we're able to see a new version of the collection now with Melt instead, because I am very excited about this collab and I do think it's going to be really pretty. I'm trying to do my own little collage here with the products that I've seen. I don't know if I'm going to pick this up. It does depend on whether or not I have time to do videos come this. Again, I'm like, oh, I wish I could tell you, but actually I don't wish I could tell you. I do want to keep my life private for the time being, but I am not 100% sure right now how much time I will have for filming come the end of the year, because there are some things going on. But if I do have extra time, I might pick this one up and just do a video with this one, or at least just to own it, because I love Edward Scissorhands. It's one of my favorite movies, and I remember just when I realized that actually this palette isn't that great, I remember being a little heartbroken by that, because I was like, that's just such a shame, because I love the franchise so much. So I am excited about like, you know, like being able to get a second chance to maybe get like good makeup with Edward Scissorhands. I'm excited about that. Ooh, another one for the drugstore as well. And this is Maybelline is releasing the Cloudtopia Cheek and Lip Mousse. I am guessing that they used to have lip and cheek mousses. Do you remember the mousse makeup from Maybelline? Listen, some of it has been reformulated and it's actually not that bad if you use it with a sponge and not like cake it on like we did back in the day with a dry sponge. Ooh, that was rough. But I've actually used that with a wet sponge and it looks really nice on the skin. But now I think they're just, because of how popular some of those Southeast Asian formulas with the like the more putty formulas for the lips and cheeks, I'm thinking Figue that just came into Ulta. I'm thinking Maybelline is just going into the archives, digging up some old formulas and reinventing them for the 2000s, because they definitely had something like this going on before. And I think it's smart of them to re-release it now when it's popular again. Some of these shades are really, really interesting. I do like how they look. Will I buy this? Do I need this? Not really, but I do think it's a smart release of them. It's like playing into what's new, but also a little bit of nostalgia. Who remembers the mousse blushes from Maybelline? I had a couple. I had a couple. Okay, let's talk about some industry news, some things that are going on in the industry. One of them being that Augustinus Bader is launching a lower priced skincare brand with Dua Lipa. Not in a million years would I have thought that this was gonna happen. Augustinus Bader is known for being a very luxurious, high-end skincare brand. Are they from Switzerland, maybe? Augustinus Bader, because their skincare is known for apparently being incredibly good, but also incredibly expensive. We're talking like hundreds of dollars for like something. Oh yeah. Announced on Tuesday, the Dua by AB Science line offers a trio of products. That's also something that Augustinus Bader was really known for, just offering a few products, saying, like, they had something that was basically called the serum. And it was like a very interesting concept. So they're gonna have something similar with this line. So it is the Balancing Dream Cleanser, the Renewal Cream, and the Supercharged Glow Complex, retailing between 32 and 65 British pounds, which is 45 to 85. And you're probably thinking that is not affordable. Well, when you compare it to the original line from Agustinus Bader that retails up into the, again, hundreds of dollars, I think they have something that's $300, it is definitely more on the affordable line. So they're releasing a brand that is more in line with like Drunk Elephant and Sunday Riley instead of the extremely expensive high-end where they are right now. Is it smart? Is it not? I have no idea. Where does Dua Lipa come in? You ask? Listen, your guess is as good as mine. Let's also talk about this interview that I saw from Business of Fashion that is e.l.f. beauty shares plunge as sales falls short. So usually in the beginning of a year or beginning of an economic year, you will do a prediction. How much do we think we're gonna make? And then they will either meet the predictions, exceed the predictions, or fall short. And e.l.f. thought that in 2025, they thought that 40% of their sales was going to come from Rhode Beauty that they just acquired. The brand thought that they were going to grow by 40% in 2025 and add 200 million to the combined company sales in their current fiscal year. Okay. The numbers I said, that is what it says here. But Rhode had a really strong performance. And we did talk about this last week, that Rhode actually had the biggest economic launches in as a new Sephora brand ever when they launched at Sephora. But their strong performance wasn't enough to offset slowing growth at e.l.f. itself. And I do think that the different kinds, I don't even want to call it drama, because I feel like drama sometimes just implies that it's like petty, but the controversies that e.l.f. has found themselves in, especially throughout the summer or the end of the summer, maybe it was, I think it really made people look for alternatives for e.l.f. because e.l.f. was quite honestly the ruling champion at the drugstore section of the makeup community for a while. People really loved the brand, and even though they were raising prices, people still really loved the brand. And I think that maybe because of the controversies they were in and because of the raising prices, that probably was the nail in the coffin for a lot of people, and they started looking into other brands instead of being so loyal to e.l.f. And it says e.l.f. shares plunged as much as 29% in after-hour tradings. Yikes. I always thought that Ulta Beauty was going to expand into different countries. I know they were planning to expand into Canada, and I think that everything that happened with COVID basically just put a spanner in the wheel, and I don't think they ever really continued with them. Maybe they just put it on ice and they didn't even put it in ice, they put it in coma. I don't think they plan to do that anymore. But now Ulta Beauty has expanded to Kuwait. Of all the countries that I thought Ulta Beauty was going to expand to, I don't think that I would have guessed Kuwait, but I also think it's because me being European and bigger parts of the audience that I have being Americans, I think we sometimes forget that there are markets in the world that is so big when it comes to beauty. A lot of Asian markets are just incredibly big, incredibly rich, and just have this immense love for beauty that is almost unmatched. So when you think back of that, I think a lot of Asian countries makes 1,000,000% sense when it comes to expanding both for like Ulta and for Sephora. I thought that it wouldn't have been super surprising for Ulta to open in, I was gonna say Germany, but they have Douglas, and I don't know if they could really compete with Douglas. And also in the UK, you have Boots, and it's so established. So you know what? Kuwait makes 100% sense. What country would you wish for Ulta to expand into? Okay, now we can finally talk about the fact that it seems like Skims have hired someone that everybody seems to agree is a great pick for their new upcoming beauty line. If you didn't know, Kim Kardashian did buy back her Kim K Beauty from Coty, and then she had it for herself for a bit, and then for some reason she got rid of it, and she's gonna relaunch it under Skims instead. I think she could have just skipped that step. I think that was just a waste of money and waste of everybody's time and energy, but I do think it makes sense for her to launch it under Skims. Skims is a very loved brand by a lot of people. It's doing really well, and I do think it makes sense to have Skims Beauty, like have it under there. And Skims have appointed the founder of Ami Khloe, you know, the brand that disappeared from Sephora, we talked about this a while ago, for upcoming beauty division. Smart, really smart acquisition, and I think that that is perfect for the brand. So the founder of Ami Khloe, her name is Diara Ndiaye. I hope I'm not saying that incorrectly, but she had founded Ami Khloe, and even though she had funding, she did decide to close the brand and exit out of Sephora. And she's been talking about how hard it is for a smaller brand, regardless if you have funding or not, to be able to break through a market like at Sephora, like brick and mortar. And it is like, you do need a lot of money to make something like that happen. This is not the first time Diara is working at a beauty brand. She's also worked at Glossier and at L'Oreal, which was one of the reasons why she started her own brand. And I think that her working together with Kim Kardashian on this beauty line will be perfect, because I know that Ami Khloe was known for having really great formulas and really good colors, and I think if they could bring that into and mesh it into what Skims is known for, which is more natural and flattering, because that's what people are looking for, not me, but a lot of people are looking for that. And if you can bring in the twist of what Ami Khloe had, that DNA into it, I do think it could be really good. And I think overall, this is a really interesting news, and it does make me more intrigued to see what Skims Beauty is gonna do. I do wonder though if this hire happened after Ami Khloe decided to close down, or if Ami Khloe closing down was partly because the owner knew she had this lined up. I don't know about the timeline, but I would love to hear, now that we're seeing more like puzzle pieces come together, I would love to hear more about the background story of how this all came together. And okay, I think that was everything. Like I said, thank you so much for the people who gave me really nice comments on the video. Not all the comments were nice, and I think it's really hard, and that's like, I mean, one of the reasons why I've decided that I don't want this as a job anymore is that it is so hard to, you can't please everyone. And people have become just very, very vocal online when they don't like something in a way that just really, again, I just don't want to be part of. Maybe I'm weak, maybe I'm just over it, but I remember a time when it was a little bit more calm, and that's what I was saying to my friends as well. I just want a little bit of peace and quiet, and to be able to be creative at my own accord, the way that I decide myself. So this is not goodbye. This is just me saying, again, like I said, I'm just giving my 2 months notice that come January, this will not be my full-time job, but I'll still come into the office every now and then. I'll do some things. I'll just be a little less organized, and I'll probably buy a lot less as well. So it definitely will be more of that, because again, it won't really be about like the views as much. So I'll do more like shop my stash and just like tutorials. I love doing chat to get ready with me. I love doing those kind of videos, and maybe I'll do like release roundups where I just go through, maybe swatch parties. I don't know, stuff that I miss doing. That's what I'm gonna be doing. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I hope you're having a great weekend. As you're seeing this, I am actually about to get another tattoo. My friend is a tattoo artist, so she's coming by and she's giving me another tattoo. It's gonna be so much fun. And this weekend, we are going to a birthday party with the theming is bedazzled. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing about that, but tell me about your weekend plans down below. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next week for something new.